So my name is Dia, and I'm going to be talking about food additives and preservatives and carcinogenesis. And I go to Parkway West High School in Baldwin, Missouri. So for the introduction, my topic is basically about food additives and preservatives and their relation to carcinogenicity. And two questions I came up with were, how do food additives and preservatives affect carcinogenicity? And how do food additives and preservatives themselves act as carcinogens? So my objective was I wanted to learn more about the intricate relations within food additives and preservatives and how they affect carcinogenicity, and how my findings will further accelerate findings in the field and will provide like strong base evidence for public to avoid prepackaged, enhanced, and unhealthy foods. So for the literature review, I noticed that there wasn't like a lot of strong resources directly relating to the topic, but some relevant current research that I have found are about how food additives and preservatives as carcinogens themselves, and how some can be more carcinogenic than others. So the article published by PLOS Medicine titled Artificial Sweeteners and Cancer Risk that explores the direct relation of like sweeteners and how they increase cancer risk, and shows that carcinogenicity is suggested, but it's not like outwardly shown before that. Another, which is an example of research that was relevant to my topic, was an article published by MDPI with the journal Nutrients titled Food, Components, and Dietary Habits, Keys for a Healthy Gut Microbiota Composition. And so basically this article was mainly talking about how food components impact gut microbiota composition. And I think the areas of weakness in my research is that there's little direct evidence of like strong relations between carcinogenicity, and it has a lot of limited explanations. So for the methodology and results, as I said before, many studies about my topic were very vague and sort of like inconclusive, but my analysis was brought on by existing data relating to my topic to make inferences and to sum up all the information to come to like a synopsis that food additives and preservatives themselves can increase risk for cancer and act as carcinogens. I think the most interesting and significant findings are that additives and preservatives with like the addition of heat can act as carcinogens. And I thought something important to note was that like specific carcinogens listed, such as nitrites, nitrates, aspartame, BHA, BHT, and sodium benzoate, they're carcinogens with higher risks and they're known to be carcinogens, but there are many out there that are still not identified. To conclude, the importance of my research question is to further explore and enhance future studies of cancer risk in general and could possibly help in treatment plans. The limitations to this is that there's limited direct lab work on the direct interactions and relationships. And also tied with that, this topic is like a fairly newer and modern topic, and like so that contributes to the limited amount of resources. So with my contribution to this topic, my paper clearly outlines how food additives and preservatives act as carcinogens and can increase risk of cancer, and how some cause productions of carcinogens. So to talk about my research experience with gifted gabber, personally, my experience has been very productive, and we always had something to work on and like strict due dates to build up the production of the paper. Dr. Prahlad and Professor Virgil both offered a lot of like insightful perspectives on the wording and sequence of the research paper, but also the contents of it and to correct some things. And also there was a lot of comments left by both professors on my paper. And I thought this course was thoroughly planned, and I liked that we got to hear what page everyone else was on to get like different perspectives of the assignment. And I also like that there was like careful instruction of what we needed to do and a detailed outline of like the agenda for the entire course. That's it.
Mm, Amazing. The level of effort that you put, your passion, your interest, and your drive is commendable. So, Dr. Prahlad, question for Dia.
Yeah, Dia, so very interesting and good work. So in your work, like it kind of sometimes necessary to preserve food, right? Did you find anything in the research that suggests a way to preserve food without those additives, without accumulating carcinogens?
Yeah, so there was a lot of like natural ways to preserve food, and I think it was listed in my paper, but like it's often not used because it's a little like it's more on like the harder to attain, and it's just easier to just use those carcinogenic like preservatives instead of using more natural and things that would be more healthy.
Mhm. Like fermentation. Right?
Yeah,
Great job.
Yeah.
thank you.
Excellent, Dia. Here's to wishing you a lot of success in the future.